Hi, my name is Abel Koury, and I'm a National Academy of Sports Medicine personal trainer. I am a certified nutrition coach, and I also have a PhD in developmental psychology. So those are my credentials. I always like to start with that, but I want to talk about why my approach is different than what you'll find on Instagram or what you'll find by just doing a quick Google search and looking up nutrition coach. What I really am trying to go for is an evidence-based approach that's based on scientifically valid studies, as well as my understanding of habit formation, what motivates folks just in general, how people learn, as well as exercise physiology and nutrition. Put it all together and then support you in making those habit sustaining plans for you to change your health. I'm really focused in on not just telling you what to eat, so just throwing a meal plan your way and sending you off, but really focusing in on what are the skills that you need to put in place and the skills that we can practice together that's going to allow you to experience really good health for the long term. The great thing about that is that means eventually you do get to fire me. So we have this time together. We're going to learn these great practices. We're going to have a supportive relationship where we work on things like your relationship with food. Why do you eat when you eat? What are you experiencing? What things feel good, etc. And give you really good sustainable habits. And eventually over time, you'll be able to put those in place without me. So I like to, hone in on the question of why. Why do you need a coach? Can't you do this by yourself? Sure, lots of folks can get pretty far by themselves. But the real benefit to having a coach is the idea of, accountability. And, lots of research will show this. I come from my data analytics background, so, I can tell you definitively that the very best predictor of what you're going to be like next year or next month or next week is what you are today, last month, and last year. And that's because your past behavior is one of the best predictors of your future behavior. And that makes sense, right? What we do feels good for us. It's hard to make changes because it really does require your brain to shift, right? Not just your habits, but your actual brain. Changing the neurons, the firing little structures of the brain to make those changes. It's challenging, right? We got a trillion neurons in there and they're all doing the same things for so long that it just becomes automatic. So our job is to say, okay, we know that it's going to be a little bit challenging. We know that what we've done in the past is going to predict the future. And so because of that, we can have all of this power, right? If there was power before in creating these experiences with eating, maybe eating really quickly, or maybe, overeating or using less nutritious foods to sustain us, if we can do that and put those in place, then think of the power that we have to put those really good practices in place where you feel great and energized by your food choices. So that is my plug for why you need a coach and why you need specifically me, or why I'd like to work with you in particular. But a very practical next step, if you're thinking, I'm not quite ready for a nutrition coach, that's okay. I still want to support you in your goals. The great thing is you already signed up for the 6-week challenge, so you're ready for it. One of the best things that I think that you can do is truly track where you are right now. Getting your accurate baseline is going to allow us to see where you are and then where you're going, right? Because we can never really know where we've gone if we don't know where we've started. So the Fit Book is awesome for this. Like, truly, I track my workouts, I track what I eat, I track my sleep, and I think it's a really great way of being able to visualize your success. So I'm actually going to flip here to the page that I want to chat with you about first. This is your weekly planner. So here you see, you can track your classes. So if you know what classes you're going to take per week, kind of marking them down. Research shows that actually committing something to paper, putting it in your calendar, makes it more real. You also have the visual cue to remind you, hey, I committed this thing to myself, and so just like it's a doctor's appointment, I'm not going to skip it. So here's your commitments to yourself for your exercise and cardio. And then down here we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now you don't have to think too much about the actual recipes that are going into each of these things, but plotting out what you're going to have, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner is going to do a couple of different things. One, it's going to show you that if you have an event coming up, birthday party, something like that, you'll know that possibly if it's happening on Sunday night, that maybe you're planning to indulge, right? So maybe you plan your meals around that sort of indulgence and allow yourself to have some grace. It also is a nifty way to make your grocery list for the week. So you've already planned out what you're going to eat. then you know that when you go to the grocery store, these are the things that we're going to buy, right? Because we're going to set ourselves up for success. So I love this. I love this for the aspect of being able to plan and visualize my week, and it also takes out some of the guesswork for grocery shopping, which just makes it easier. Then we have the actual daily workouts. So you have your goals here from the week, and because you know what you're going to try to accomplish for the week, you can set up each day for that. You have the food log here, where you have breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack. Some folks will look at this and be like, wow, that's so much eating. But really, the idea that we're eating in smaller chunks over time is going to be great for our blood sugar. So when we eat in the morning time and then we don't eat again for a really long time, what happens is your blood sugar spikes and then it crashes. And that's why you get that feeling of being like so hungry that you can't wait to get anything into your mouth. And we want to avoid that. So planning ahead, saying for breakfast, I think I'll have this. For snack, I'll have this. Can things change? Sure. But you are committing yourself to at least thinking ahead and planning. And that is one of the things that we're going to focus on during this 6-week challenge, is really thinking about how am I going to use my skills, my planning ahead skills, my preparation skills, in order to get me to where I want to go. And a lot of this is really going to be that front work at the beginning part of the week and each day to really set yourself up for success. So I hope that this video has been helpful. We will attack things like macronutrients, micronutrients, protein, all those things in future weeks. But minimally, to get you started, let's start tracking.